So you've been running for a while, you took my advice and you went and got your pair of shoes at a local running store, somebody helped you out, but something's a little off, right? You picked them, they worked really well in the store, but you're starting to get some injuries. You're wondering, is it the shoes? Well, I'm Jesse Funk, and on today's episode of Runner's High, we're going to discuss, can running shoes cause injuries? Now today's video is a little bit of a personal story about me, a little bit of my background, a little bit of the people that I've met throughout my running career. So don't take this as the gospel truth, but it is at least going to be my experience and you can take it with a grain of salt from there. Now, if you've not been with me before we get going further, please hit that subscribe button, stick with me around on the channel. I talk about running, I interview experts in various fields, a lot of the time in endurance sports. So you can check that out on the podcast, the Smart Athlete Podcast. So let's talk about running shoes and injuries. Now, when I was in college, I got injured a lot. College is not necessarily the best place for a runner to develop to their maximum because the emphasis is so high on racing. But the first time this idea germinated in my head that running shoes could cause injury came from one of the athletic trainers there. And I was fortunate enough, one of the athletic trainers on staff actually had worked at the Olympic Training Center and had very high-level qualifications, which was astounding for such a small school that I went to, but it was nice to have him. But his thing was that he always looked at shoes first, always, and he was convinced that they were often the issue when running injuries occurred. He would look at it for a lot of different athletes, but especially for us runners because overuse comes up a lot, especially in that kind of environment. He believed it was a thing, and I didn't really put a whole lot of stock in it because I had a lot of weird, bizarre, mysterious injuries that even the athletic training staff didn't seem to be able to explain in college. Now, fast forward, here we are almost 14 years later from the time that I met him, and it's, again, a place where I find myself, hey, I've got this injury. And I've done really well with not having injuries since college. I've been cross-training, been doing triathlon, and I'm coming back to running. The last 18 months, I've been really dealing with piriformis issues. Well, come to find out, I had been running in a 4mm stack height differential shoe. If you don't know what that means, subscribe to the channel. I cover shoes in a different video. And then I had switched to a shoe that was 6mm because my shoe was discontinued. They didn't make it any longer. And the shoe that I picked out was 6mm. I figured, 2mm, the shoe feels good, no problem. I began to suspect maybe this was a problem. Maybe this was the source of my issues. Well, I took that to the test. I got a pair of 4mm shoes when it was time for a new pair of shoes. Tried them on. These feel pretty good. Let's go ahead and take them for a run. Within the first week, I have stopped having issues. It's just this little nagging, it's been over and over, and I keep beating it up as I go run. And then now that I have these new shoes, my piriformis, that area, glute medius, has been healing up very rapidly. This is my personal story of saying yes, unequivocally yes, I will confirm what that trainer always wanted to suspect. Shoes can cause injuries. Now, does that mean that a 4mm differential shoe is right for you? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that's right for you. But with the gait I have, with the form that I have, that's the best thing for me. And even that small difference, that 2mm, that my heel was raised up compared to the other shoes, very similar foam, very similar shoe, just that 2mm threw my running mechanics off enough that it caused issues in the chain of biomechanics in my body and ended up causing an injury. The problem here being I didn't pay attention enough to notice it. It was so small, so subtle that I didn't notice it and became an overuse injury. So if you have an injury, you suspect it's after changing to new shoes, it may be time to look at, hey, what can I change to? Is there something I can change to that may be a better option for me? If you want to check out those videos, I talk about shoes in a lot of different stuff. I'll actually link you to my whole playlist on shoes. I used to fit shoes for a living for people with health conditions and runners, so I know plenty about that. So shame on me even for not noticing that 2mm differential. I should have known better, but it happens to the best of us. That playlist should be coming up here shortly. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Runner's High.